Hello everyone. So today we are going to solve another type of problem based on the uniform flow. Okay. So last time we started solving uniform flow problems based on the formulas that we saw. That is the Chase's formula and Manning's formula. Now there are 5 different type of problems that we saw last time which are based on the uniform flow. So today we are going to solve one of the types where we have to calculate the slope. Okay. So let's read this example first. Let's read the problem. What is given? A trapezoidal section 10 meter wide and side slope of 1.5 horizontal to 1 vertical is given. Okay. So this is the trapezoidal section that is given like this. Okay. What is given then? The channel is lined with smooth concrete of n equal to 0.012. So we know what is the material of lining. So we know the roughness constant. Which constant? Small n is the Manning's constant. Okay. If we were given C, value of C, this is the Chase's constant. Then we would have used Chase's formula. But now we are given Manning's constant. So we will use the Manning's formula. Okay. Then what we have to find out? Find the slope necessary to carry a discharge of 50 meter cube per second at a depth of 3 meters. Okay. So what basically is given? First we should try to understand the problem that 50 meter cube of discharge is going to flow in this channel. Okay. So if you have this channel, this is the bed of channel bottom, suppose. Okay. And what is given? If 50 meter cube per second cube. Okay. So 50 meter cube per second of water will be flowing in this canal. Okay. The cross section of this canal is, if you take a cross section, it will be okay. So it will be a trapezoidal cross section. 50 meter cube per second of water will be flowing in this canal at what depth? Depth will be 3 meters. Okay. So this is your normal depth yn. And normal depth, how we represent this? We represent this by yn. So whenever some flow is taking place at a constant depth, then that depth is called as a normal depth, because flow is a uniform flow. Okay. So we know discharge, we know what is the flow depth, but what we want to know, at what slope this will be possible, this thing will be possible. So see, for every slope, if you want to send suppose 50 meter cube per second of water in this channel, so at one particular slope you can keep any slope. Okay. So whatever slope you keep, you will get exactly, for every value of slope you will get one value of yn. Okay. So if you keep the slope suppose 1 degree, you will get yn as 1.5 meters. Or slope in numbers you should say, slope is what? The vertical distance divided by the horizontal distance, isn't it? Or tan theta, or that is also equal to theta, since everything angles are very small, all the three things are one and the same. So SB is suppose 0.000 suppose 1. Okay. So you will get yn as 1.5 meters. Suppose you go on increasing the slope, you will get some different yn. Okay. Your yn will decrease. If you reduce the slope, your yn will increase. So there will be one value of SB x for which you will get yn as 3 meters. There will be definitely one value of slope, because rest of the things are constant. The Manning's constant is also fixed. The cross sectional base width is also fixed. Side slope is also, everything is fixed. Geometry is also fixed. Okay. So if you just go on changing the slope and your discharge is also fixed, your normal depth will change. Okay. So there will be one particular slope for which you will get 3 meters depth of water. Okay. Normal depth. So we want to find that slope, and how to find that we'll see. Okay. Now see, at any slope uniform flow is going to take place at different depths. So in all the cases you can apply, as it is uniform flow, you can apply uniform flow formula. Okay. So we will just do that, apply the uniform flow formula and calculate the slope for which 50 meter cube per second of water will flow at a depth of 3 meters. Okay. So we will do just that. So step wise we'll try to calculate. So what is given? Given is base width, that is 10 meters. Okay, then I will draw the figure. Okay, so base width is given. This is actually your B, base width, and it is given as 10 meters. Okay, then your side slope is given 1 vertical to 1.5 horizontal. Okay, for our formulas we have derived in the earlier lectures. For the formulas, how we write the side slope? This is the side slope of the channel. How we write that? How much horizontal distance you have to travel to go 1 vertical. Here we have to travel 1.5 horizontal to go 1 vertical. So this becomes our M. Okay, because we represent M horizontal to 1 vertical. This is based on this nomenclature we have derived the formulas. Okay, so your side slope is M is the side slope, it is 1.5. Okay, so side slope. Then again, what is given? The lining material is concrete, and we know what is the Manning's roughness constant, N 0.012. Okay, so Manning's roughness constant is also given. Next, we know how much discharge we need to pass through this channel, that is 50 meter cube per second, and we also know at what depth. At what depth we need to pass 3 meters. Okay, so depth is 3 meters. Okay, now let's find out the slope. Now, since we know the Manning's roughness constant, we will use the Manning's formula. So as the flow is uniform, when the flow is taking place, the flow is uniform. Okay, because our depth is constant, 3 meters. So we can applying Manning's formula. We have, according to Manning's formula, what is that? V equal to 1 by n V equal to 1 by n r to the power 2 by 3 SB to the power 1 by 2. Okay, this is for velocity. And what is discharge? Therefore discharge Q equal to A into V. So just multiply A by n r to the power 2 by 3 SB to the power 1 by 2. SB is the bed slope. Okay, here bed slope is unknown. We don't know what is the bed slope. Okay, now therefore, now in this equation, let's see what do we have. Okay, in this equation, Q equal to A by n r to the power 2 by 3 SB to the power 1 by 2. This is our equation. Okay, what things we know and what things we don't know. Say discharge we know, it is already given 50 meter cube per second. Flow area we don't know, but we know the geometry, we can calculate the flow area. Manning's roughness constant is also known. Hydraulic radius is not known, but we can calculate that also. Then bed slope is unknown, this we have to calculate. So first we should calculate A and R. A is the flow area, R is the hydraulic radius. So let's do that. Let's calculate flow area first. Flow area is denoted by capital A. Flow area is given as, it is basically the cross-sectional area normal to the flow. Okay, so this is the flow area because flow is taking place like this. So normal to this flow direction, how much is the area of flow? This is the area. We already know the formula as because last time we have derived it for trapezoidal section, but you can just derive like this also. So just add this area of rectangle plus area of these two triangles. Okay, so area of rectangle is B into YN now, base into height. Okay, then we are left with these two triangles. Okay, so triangles area, that also we saw last time, it will be yn square. Okay, because this is what my and this is also myn basically. Okay, see, for one vertical it is traveling m, so for yn vertical this travel distance will be m into yn, and area of this triangle would be, this triangle would be half into base into height. Okay, half base is what, my, and height is yn, so this will be half myn square, and 2 times, because there are 2 triangles, so 2 into 1 by 2 into myn square, so that will be, this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. Area of these 2 triangles would be myn square. So area of this rectangle plus area of these 2 triangles, we are getting by plus myn square. So let's find out this area. B is 10, yn is 3, plus m is 1.5, side slope yn is 3 square. So that will be equal to 10 into 3 plus 1.5 into 3 square. So 43.5 meter square. This is the flow area. Now what is the second flow parameter? That is the wetted perimeter. It is denoted by capital P. Okay, wetted perimeter is what? Wetted perimeter is the length of cross section that is in contact with the flow, or which is wetted by the flow. So in this cross sectional flow, if you see, then how much length of this cross section is in contact with the flow? This much length, this sloping length here, this straight length here, and then again this sloping length here. Okay, so this much length is wetted by the flow. So this length, sloping length plus this straight length plus sloping length, becomes the wetted perimeter. So let's calculate that wetted perimeter. We have derived already the formula, but I will try to do it again. Okay, for those who have not gone through it. Okay, so this is B. Okay, B is here plus. Okay, then we have 2 sloping lengths. So what is the length of this sloping length? This is, according to Pythagoras theorem, square of this plus square of this will be equal to square of this. So sloping length square, so we have myn square plus yn square equal to this sloping length, suppose I call x, so x square. Okay, so x equal to this sloping length is suppose x. Okay, so x will be equal to under root of yn square plus m square yn square, and you can take out yn outside, so we will have square root of 1 plus m square. Okay, so and there are 2 sloping lengths, so 2 times yn into under root 1 plus m square. Okay, so this is your wetted perimeter, sloping length into 2, because we have 2 sloping lengths, plus b. If we have different side slopes, now in this problem the side slopes are same on both sides, but if we have different side slopes, then we will have to calculate separately. Both the sloping lengths we will have to calculate separately. Here they are same, so I have just multiplied by 2. Okay, so let's calculate this wetted perimeter. This is 10 plus 2 into 3 under root 1 plus 1.5 square. So that will be 10 plus 2 into 3 under root of 1 plus 1.5 square. So this will be 20.81 meters. What will be the unit? Pay attention to the units also. Okay, flow area will be in meter square because it is area. Wetted perimeter is the length, so unit will be in meters. Okay, SI unit. So your hydraulic radius becomes, then third we need hydraulic radius. R. Now hydraulic radius R is given by flow area divided by wetted perimeter. It is the ratio of flow area to the wetted perimeter. So just divide area, that is 43.5 upon wetted perimeter, 20.81. So we are going to get 2.09, and unit will be meters. Remember, or try to understand, the hydraulic radius is the ratio of area to the perimeter. So meter square divided by meter, the unit will be meters. Okay, hydraulic radius 2.09 meters. So now once we calculate this hydraulic radius, flow area, etc., we can find out the bed slope here. So just put the values in the equation. Therefore, what is the discharge? Discharge is given as 50. So 50 equal to flow area we have calculated now. It is 43.5 upon N is 0.012 into R we know 2.09 to the power 2 by 3 into SB to the power 1 by 2. This is the unknown SB. So now we know all the values. Okay. So from here we can calculate SB to the power half equal to, I will simplify this, 50 into 0.012 upon 43.5 into 2.09 to the power 2 by 3. Okay. So this becomes, just calculate 50 into 0.12 upon 43.5 into 2.09 raised to 2 by 3. This comes out to be 8.43 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay. Now therefore SB will be, this is square root. So if you want to find out the value, we'll have to take square of both sides. So just take square of this 8.43 into 10 to the power minus 3 square. So that is 0.0007. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 0.4 times 0, 7, 1, 1. Okay, so this is your SB. Okay, I will check the answer. Okay, answer is correct. So in this way we can simply just calculate area, hydraulic radius, etc. from the given data and just put the values in this uniform flow formula. Now here uniform flow formula that we used was the Manning's formula. You can also use Chase's formula if we get a Chase's constant. Alright. Now see, so you can directly calculate SB also. In the last lecture we calculated discharge because it is a straightforward equation. Okay. So in this way you can find out bed slope if other data is given. Fine. One more thing we should remember is that now in the problems this Manning's constant is given as constant, unitless. Basically it is having unit, but we don't write it necessarily. But remember that this is not unitless. Okay, it has some units. What units are having for n? Now n here in the problem it is given just a constant. It does not have any unit, but it has unit. What will be the units? From here itself you can calculate. We have Q, or what is the formula? V equal to this is the formula. Okay, so N will be equal to R raised to 2 by 3 upon V. Okay, SB to the power half, but SB is having no unit. So what is the unit of R? Unit of R is meters. So we have M0 L to the power 2 by 3 T0. Okay, and unit of velocity is meters per second. So length per unit time. So it will be, units will be M0 L1 t minus 1. Okay, since velocity is meters per second. Okay, so n will be having unit, this it will be m0, L will be 2 by 3 minus 1, so 2 by 3 minus 1 would be 1 minus 3, it will be minus 1 by 3, and t would be minus 1 would go, it will be 1. Okay, so it will have the unit Manning's constant. So in this way, even if it is just given as a number, it will have some unit. Okay, and same is the case with Chase's constant. So in this way you can calculate, or you can solve a uniform flow problem in which we have to calculate the bed slope. Okay, how to find the bed slope we have seen here. In the next lecture we will also see a different kind of problem, okay, where we have to calculate the normal depth or maybe Manning's constant. We'll see that in the next lecture. Thank you.